victory at Aloha Stadium, the UH Warriors are now the WAC champions, and a sellout crowd cheered on the Warriors as they continued their winning streak. Cheers of joy erupted across the state tonight as the Warrior football team defeated the Boise State Broncos. Our Howard Jashevsky is live at the stadium. And Howard, what a game. It was a great game. You know, Stephanie, when June Jones came and took over this program, he promised big-time football. We're going to go right to the score before we do anything and give you the final. There it is, 39-27, Hawaii winning its first outright WAC championship. June promised he was going to make this team into a big-time football program, and he did it tonight. The team lived up to its promise. I want to bring in Jason Tang. You know, Jason, people that have been to football games, maybe a Notre Dame or USC or Ohio State, Michigan, they get to understand and experience a little bit about that energy, that pride, that emotion. We saw it here tonight in Hawaii.
Exactly. We were in the middle of it,
yeah.
And, you know, it's just absolutely amazing game. The first half was actually pretty close, but the third quarter is when the Warriors really opened it up. Let's take a look at how we got to the final score, though. First quarter, Hawaii's down 7-0. Colt Brennan hits Ryan Grice-Moen. That not only ties the game, also breaks the NCAA record for touchdowns in a career. That's his 122nd. Later, Colt to Devon Best. And check out the yards after catch. That would be a touchdown. 19-14 Warriors. They take a 19-17 lead to the half. Third quarter, beautiful shot by our photographer, Darren Akita. 34 yards to C.J. Hawthorne, 39-27 Hawaii. That's the final score. And like you said, Dash, just a great win. Their first outright WAC championship, and now really a chance to make a BCS berth, but it all depends, of course, that game against Washington on Saturday.
That's going to be a great game. Yeah, Colt Brennan after the game said, yes, we won tonight, but now next week is the biggest game of the season.
Exactly.
It really is.
And we'll have some post-game a little later on in the show.
All right, we got much more on football. Of course, the traffic was a big issue. We want to take a live shot and show you what's going on right now. Actually, for the most part, the stadium is relatively empty. There is some westbound traffic, people heading back out to the Waianae side or to central Oahu. But traffic actually moved pretty well, not only getting out, but more specifically getting in, because everybody was so concerned about what was going to happen. Of course, Pearl Ridge Shopping Center just a mile or so down the road and 50,000 people coming here. Well, believe it or not, this Black Friday turned out to be pretty cool in terms of the traffic. Earlier today, Chopper 8 was out there flying overhead and had an opportunity to see that was going on out there. There you can see the stadium, and yeah, there were a lot of people here, and people had an opportunity to come on in early. It was a crowded house. Many UH fans heeded warnings to arrive at the stadium early, and in fact, the stadium parking lots were closed by noon, forcing the rest of the fans to find parking elsewhere around Halava. But for the lucky 8,000 cars and the people in them that got to the stadium parking lot in time, it was an opportunity to chill, kick back, throw the ball around, and relax. It was a massive block party full of barbecuing and people having a great time before the big game, many with some 5 hours to kick back and chill.
I had to call in sick because work, I can wait. This is the most important game in Hawaii history.
Been here for a long time. We've been a fan for UH a long time. Very big, very excited. Went to every home game so far.
So these fans had no problem at all. They had a great time in the stadium, and of course, once they went inside, well, things only got better. Another big issue of discussion coming into this game was, of course, security. Last week after the Fresno State game, there were some problems with fans in the stands and some Fresno State fans saying they were disrespected by the local folks. Well, the University of Hawaii took that very seriously, brought in a lot of extra security, not only outside prior to the game, but especially inside. It was like a fortress in some areas. You can see security from the city level, state level, sheriffs, they were all on hand. Also was our Mariella David, who had an opportunity to really see what was going on, and he had an opportunity to also talk to those Boise State fans who made the long trip over, and they had a good time.
Oh yeah, they sure did. Now the level of security tonight was almost as tight as at a Pro Bowl game, the tightest it's been all year long. Now police did kick out about a dozen intoxicated people, about 8 to 10 fights broke out, but no one was arrested. So for the most part, fans on both sides say they had a great time. In the stands, green and black mixing with blue and orange.
I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover, I love everybody. All right.
With such an intense rivalry on the field, 50,000 fans packing Aloha Stadium, police stepped up security to avoid a repeat of the UH versus Fresno State game, where emotions ran so high, rival fans threw bottles at each other.
Everybody from Hawaii should have more respect for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. Unless it was like Cincinnati where they were throwing stuff at us, right now. Then you can. But
giving aloha to everybody.
You gotta show aloha. It's Hawaii.
Some Boise
fans who heard about the Fresno game fiasco admit they were hesitant to fly in, but their fears melted once they came.
It's been wonderful. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
UH fans did break the rules at the end of the game. They rushed out onto the field, something they're not supposed to do, but police decided that it'd be safer just to stand back, let them celebrate, guard the goalpost, and then slowly guide them out of the stadium. So, Dash, for the post part, no major problems.
It was a great time. All right, Mariella, thank you very much. We were down there on the field when everybody did rush. UH had said protect the goalpost at all costs because of two reasons. First of all, the danger of them falling on the hordes of people that are down on the field. Second of all, they're expensive, and they need to be back up in time for Washington, of course, next week. So it was a great night here at Aloha Stadium. We're going to have more to come in a little bit, but Stephanie, right now we're going to send it back to you in the studio for more on the live local late breaking news of this day. And what a night in Halava.
Oh, what a night indeed, Howard. And just as you said, today's game, of course, coincided with Black Friday, and thousands of shoppers backed up our roads and crammed into parking lots to get a good deal.
Local late-breaking sports.
So again, 39-27, the final score here at Aloha Stadium. The Warriors winning their first outright WAC championship, dethroning Boise State, keeping those BCS hopes alive. Once again, I want to bring in our sports director, Jason Tang, with highlights of the game that people will be talking about for some time.
That they will. We'll all have to get used to that phrase, 2007 WAC champions. But let's recap how they got to that point. First quarter, if we have that video up, maybe. There we go. First quarter, Hawaii's down 7-0. Colt ties it up with a pass to Ryan Grice-Mullen. That also breaks the NCAA touchdown record. This is his 122nd career touchdown for Colt. But it was the third quarter where they would pick things up. Jason Rivers, 32-yard touchdown. They would go 19-17 at the half. And later, C.J. Hawthorne, 34 yards, 39-27. Hawaii is the final score. Warriors win their first outright WAC championship. They beat Boise State for the first time since '99. Their next game is Saturday against Washington. Colt, 40-53, 494 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Best with the school record, 14 receptions, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. But let's have a listen at what Colt and June said after the game.
The way we went down and started off the second half, I knew, oh man, we got something going here. I think we put up 20 in the third quarter, and when you're rolling like that against the Boise State team, you know, things are good.
He's the best college football player in America last year, and he still is this year. And he plays good next week, and we win it. He should win the Heisman Trophy.
Cole, how much fun was that to be out there with the fans and the trophy and the celebration?
Yeah, that was crazy, you know. I mean, you don't think about that stuff like that before the game, and all of a sudden it happens, and you're just getting bombarded by people. But the coolest thing about that was, you know, usually you only see the best schools in the country get to experience that, and you know, Michigan's, Ohio State's, and now Hawaii's right up there with everybody else. So it's an awesome feeling.
Do you feel maybe even more pressure that you've got one game left to go undefeated?
That's kind of the bummer about winning tonight, is that next week just became the biggest game of the season. So you know it's going to be a tough game probably, but we're at home, obviously playing for a BCS championship, or chance to go to a BCS bowl game. I'd say you know, it's enough to get up and get ready to have a big game on Saturday.
And that's definitely going to be a huge game Saturday right here at Aloha Stadium. But Dash, just a historical night here for the Warriors and the whole state of Hawaii.
You know, maybe going back more than a decade ago, and Hawaii finally got the BYU monkey off their back. Have we seen a night like this? But who would have ever thought chants from 50,000 strong, BCS in Halava?
That's right. We sent a message, I think.
Yeah,
so
we did on national TV. All right, Jason, thank you very much. That's going to wrap up our coverage from Aloha Stadium tonight. A great night as the Warriors clinch the WAC championship. Steph, we're going to send it back to you. We're buzzed and primed for a great weekend, as we're all the people in here tonight. It was a great time. We're going to send it back to you now.
All right, Howard. Apparently,